Hey guys, Chris from Nichols Retirement Empire. I live near Atlanta, and always, my whole life, I've lived in Georgia. I've never lived anywhere else. Atlanta's a lot bigger city, a lot more popular than it used to be. You get a lot more tourists, people coming down, checking things out down here in hot Atlanta. Uh, but what a lot of people don't understand is in the state of Georgia, there are so many ways to pronounce Atlanta that you would not believe it. I'm going to give you a rundown of just a, a type of ways to say Atlanta, just concentrating on the two most popular ways that Atlanta is said, and then we will talk about the alternative ways to say Atlanta, Georgia. Let's start off with the way apparently that it is supposed to be. I don't know, because see, I'm from Georgia, so I really can't know the right way to say it, because obviously the people that don't live in Georgia probably say it the correct way. So the correct way is Atlanta, Georgia, because there's an ATL, okay, and then a L, Lanta, Atlanta, Georgia. And that's the way you probably hear it on the news and, on television. It's probably the way you hear it. But that's not the way I hear it here in Georgia. I've never heard that. Unless you are not from Georgia and you've moved to Georgia. Then you may say Atlanta. That's even hard. It makes my tongue feel weird, Atlanta, when I say that. I don't like that. The typical way, the most common way, depends on what part of the state you're in, your background, things like that. What most people do is they get the T in there, but most people don't get the second T. So you get Atlanta, Lana, Atlanta. And then some people don't even get the T in there. You get Atlanta. You get those two variations. You get Atlanta with one T, no second T, or you get no T's at all. Now, it gets even more complicated. Now, I'm going to say it all these different ways that you can in this form, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you so that you understand how that sounds coming off the tongue. Okay, so let's start off. Let's use the correct pronunciation. Let's use that in a sentence. Today in sports, the Atlanta Falcons defeated the New England Patriots to become Super Bowl champions. All right, the single T. Man, I got to go down to Atlanta and pick up my girlfriend. She's getting out of jail. No T's. I like to go down to Atlanta because they got real good prices on new cars. So, that's, two distinctly different ways to say that. But the thing about it is it gets, there's even more ways, many more ways. It may have been a while since you've been in school, but the letters of the alphabet, you can classify the letters as vowels or consonants. You can take every vowel that there is and say Atlanta with that vowel. Not only can you say it with that vowel, you can say it the two different ways, with the one T or no T's. E with a T. Well, you can go down to Atlanta if you want. And I hope you find what you're looking for. E, no T's. I want to know why every time they come on the news, all they ever talk about is Atlanta. I with the T. Honey, I want you to take me down to Atlanta to get some more I with the T. Last time I went down to Atlanta. Somebody stole my flip phone. No tease. Man, I hate my boss. He thinks he's really something because he went to Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Oh, with a T. Welcome, my friends, to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Atlanta United. Oh, no tease. Hey, man, remember that time we went down to the varsity in Atlanta and met them two girls whose daddy owned that bass boat dealership? You with the T. Shoot. I've been driving transfer trucks around Atlanta for 17 years on 275. I ain't seen a policeman yet. You. No tease. Good night, dude. What is wrong with you? Where are you from? Atlanta. Now, you know that sometimes Y can be a vowel, so let's throw Y in there. So let's do the Y with the T. Yeah, I used to like go down to Atlanta all the time back when they still had Winn-Dixie, so I could pick up a mint of cheese I used to have for my cousin. Y with no T's. Well, I think the best years that the Atlanta Falcons ever had was when they had Bubba Bean and Haskell stand back in the same backfield. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot of ways to say Atlanta. But I'm not even going to get into the consonants. You know, and you're probably thinking, how in the world could you start Atlanta with a consonant? Well, I mean, I'm telling you, people in Georgia, we can pronounce anything any kind of way there is. I mean, you know, a D. Let's start with the D. Man, best game I ever saw was when Dallas and Atlanta played in the playoffs back in 1980. I think Steve Barkowski was the quarterback. Yeah, Dallas and Atlanta. Atlanta. Throw any consonant in there. Get to Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. Nichols Retirement Empire in Metro Atlanta. No T. Atlanta. That's how I say it.